Okay, folks, so it's Friday morning. I camped out here at the Oakley yard, North Little Rock. That's the Arkansas River straight ahead there. Just talked to Shane, who once again is substituting from dispatcher Joey. And I was hoping, yesterday afternoon, late, he told me he was planning to send me down to El Dorado, Arkansas, which is about 2.5 hours south of here, to get another load of that ammonia nitrate. But he didn't send me the order, or I would have left earlier. I mean, it's 7:30 now. But anyway, I called him about 7 o'clock and he confirmed that's what he wanted me to do, and then sent me the order. So just got my inspection done and hitting the road. Was just talking to a new driver there that was parked beside me, Travis from South Carolina. He was out doing his trailer inspection. Said he'd just gotten out of orientation this week. So, he had a lot of questions. I was helping him out a little bit there, showing him a few things on his trailer. He's lucky though, at least he's got a spread axle trailer. Anyway, I think he is waiting for a trainer assignment. Just showing you a little bit of the yard here on a Friday morning. Was able to get a nice hot shower last night. This is the driver's lounge right here to the left. That gray building. It's pretty new. Real nice. Nice big showers in there. I'm gonna go out a different way, since there's a lot of cars coming in. That's the shop straight ahead there. This fellow's backing up, I guess. Need to wait for him to get out of the way. So yeah, going to the same place I was at, what was it, a couple days ago, 2-3 days ago. Got that a load of ammonium nitrate, delivered it up to Hillsboro, Kansas, and that's where this load's gonna go. So I'll basically go down to El Dorado, pick this load up, and then come back here for the weekend. And then the load delivers Monday. It's kind of an open window, so I'll probably leave out Sunday afternoon at some point and at least get a few hours down the road. That's what I'm thinking. Hadn't really planned it all out yet. Alright, so giving you a little different look here of the yard. Got a truck backing up here. One of the pneumatics. Basically cutting through to the back side where we can exit on, kind of bypassing some of the city streets around here. Weather's nice today. I think we're supposed to get a little bit of sunshine and some warming temperatures over the weekend. That sounds good to me, because man, it got cold up in Kansas. I mean, it was 20 degrees that morning. I guess that was yesterday morning. When I got up, it was 20 degrees. too cold. So this lot over here to the right got another scale. There's several scales out here on the yard, but this is where they park empty trailers, extra trailers, not many. There's a clean out area over there if you need to, you know, clean out your trailer. Looks like I might be catching a train. Just giving you a look. Ah, I got a nice hot cup of coffee. Let's see, now the train's backing up. Let's see, I may be able to get across here. Whoop, there's a truck coming in. Really not wide enough for multiple entries and exits. Alright, let's see what's happening here. I bet I got a lot of cars trying to get past this train now. Now I can't see. Well, I'll see you in El Dorado. Alright folks, so I'm about 10 minutes away from my shipper in El Dorado, Arkansas. Pretty day, sunshine, no rain. Then we went through Fordyce, Arkansas back there about half an hour ago. Little town where Paul Bear Bryant is from. Legendary Alabama football coach. This is the Washita River. That's how it's pronounced around here, Washita. I always wonder if it's supposed to be Washita. Anyway, a lot of water around these parts. A lot of flooded timber. Some sort of a lumber mill over there to the left. A lot of lumber industry down here in South Arkansas. It's an easy drive down here from Little Rock. Basically shoot south down on 167 highway. No rest areas and not a whole lot of places to stop. No pilots, Flying J's, Loves. There is a couple of truck stops, smaller truck stops, but easy driving, nice roads, not a lot of traffic. I'm glad I didn't have to, you know, the last time I did this trip earlier in the week, you know, they made me go load at that tire chip place there in Little Rock, and then delivered down to South Arkansas, then came over here to El Dorado to get the ammonia nitrate load. So I'm glad I didn't have to do the rubber chip, tire chip load today, because I mean, I probably could have had time to get that done, still get over here and get back home, but man, that tire chip place was probably the worst place that I've had to pick up. Just the condition of the property there, the water holes, and them trying to fill the water holes with tire chips and shredded steel belted radial tires with wires hanging, you know. It was pretty bad, pretty bad. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if I never have to go there again, but I probably will. nice folks over there, but I don't know if I mentioned this either, but I got stuck there trying to back into the loading position because my axles got, you know, one side was not touching anything, and they had to pull me out with one of their forklifts. Not a big deal, but it shows you how bad it was. Anyway, this should be a quick load for me this time, because the first time I came here a few days ago, you know, I spent almost an hour getting approved to enter the property. You know, I had to go in and get watch a 30-minute safety video and learn the, you know, all the safety information, because it's a chemical plant, and you know, get an ID made and all of that. So now I know how it works. I've got an ID, so I should be able to just scale in, show my ID, and go back to the loading area. I already know where it is, so it should go pretty quick. I'll try to show you some while we're there. All right, folks, we're about to turn into the road that leads us into the shipper, El Dorado Chemical. I call it El Dorado. I think people around here call it El Dorado. El Dorado. I like to say El Dorado. I think the O deserves proper pronunciation. Anyway, nice little road here. Deer crossing. You know, deer get a bad rap for being dumb, but I disagree, you know, because I mean, they got to be able to read those signs to know where to cross the road. Okay, what's the speed limit here? My speed is 24. But what's the speed limit? Did y'all see a speed limit sign? I didn't see a speed limit sign. Anyway, it's a pretty good little drive back here, so I'll pick this up once I get to the entrance, I guess. Okay, folks. So I'm on the scale here. Inbound scale. Had to go into this little building here to the left, and they give you a clipboard with some paperwork, and I know where to go. There was another Oakley driver on the exit scale when I came in, and I guess he needs to go back and get more product because he has got off the scale and turned around and is coming back through behind me. So I'll probably pull over up here when I get a good spot and let him get around me, because he'll probably only need a, you know, one scoop or so added on, because I've got to get my tarps off and everything. It'll take me a few minutes. Need to put some more placards on my truck. I noticed, because you know, I've gotten a truck wash since I last had these on. I actually forgot to take them off, and one of them's come off. Anyway, I'll show you some more when I get to the unload area. I've still got to drive a little bit through here. All right, guys, so I've kind of made it back here to the, see that orange lift up ahead and that little shed? That's where I'll be picking up. So I'm just gonna pull over here, get my tarp off, and let this other Oakley guy get on through there. See what these folks want. Okay, so I got my tarp rolled off, replaced a couple of my hazmat placards, You can see that other Oakley driver up there getting some additional product loaded in. So now that he's out of the way here, I'll pull on over. Because the way this works is I'll kind of make a U-turn here and then back up under that shed like he has. Man, they're using a different loader this time. Got a little bitty scoop on it and a big old extension arm. That's not what they were using the other day when I was here. I'm gonna try to get mine right this time, where I don't have to come back and reload. That'll give you a shot of it though. Yeah, that looks like kind of a tricky way to load. It's a tiny little scooper though. Man, it probably took him 25 scoops. Anyway, there's a shot of it for you. Looks like maybe the driver's satisfied. See, he's got a spread axle, so a lot easier for him to balance that weight, you know, because he can put, my understanding is, he can put 40,000 pounds on the rear. And, you know, that just makes it a lot easier to get your weights distributed properly. I'm going to tell Joey next time I talk to him, I want to get on the list for a spread axle. Someday. All right, more later. Okay, guys, so I'm in the loading position. He just dumped the first bucket in there. He was saying that these buckets hold about 900 to 1,000 pounds. So it's going to take him a lot of buckets. So the last time I was here, they had me angle in toward that wall and they dumped it in from the other side. But this is how he's doing it today with a different lift. So he's going to start in the front. I'm going to watch my gauge, and then we'll go to the back and then kind of finish in the middle. That's how we're going to handle it. Maybe I'll get lucky and get it close enough where we won't have to come back. Just giving you a good shot of it. Ammonia nitrate. You really don't want to get this stuff in your eyes or breathe it much, because it's kind of irritating. It's really only dangerous primarily, you know, if it's around fire. So we want to avoid fire. Okay, folks. That loader was real good about working with me, watching my gauges, better than the previous crew earlier in the week. He got off the forklift twice and we pulled up to get on flatter ground, and it made a difference, especially on the front axles. Made you know, a good 2,000 or 3,000 pounds difference, maybe 4,000 on the front. The back was pretty close, but anyway, I'm anxious to see, because according to my gauges, we're pretty close, under 34,000 on both. So I would expect us to weigh, you know, around 79,000 or better. I hope so we don't have to come back and get some more. Especially don't want to be over. Because you know, the way I'll go to deliver this, I won't, unless they open up some closed scales from recent, I shouldn't have to go through any weigh stations on this. But still, we don't want to risk that. Looks like there's a couple of trucks up on the inbound scales. So hopefully we weigh out good. If so, I'll go out to the holding lot once we scale out and get my tarp put back on. Head back toward North Little Rock. Some sort of a tanker truck. Quite an operation here. Yeah, I like that loader. He was good about, you know, I mixed it up a lot. I had him do a bunch in the front, do a bunch in the back, do a bunch in the middle. You know, the whole time I'm watching my gauges, adjusting him here and there. Then once we got closer, he let me pull out on leveler ground and check. So I'm glad he did, because that did make a difference in the reading. I wouldn't have really thought it would make that much difference, because, you know, the ground we were loading on was fairly flat. It did have a little bit of a incline to it. I mean, just a little bit. All right, so go ahead, truck. Go ahead. All right, I'll pick this up in a minute. All right, it worked out real well. They got my total weight with me out of the truck, 78,320. Net weight of the product at 47,320. So that's close enough. We don't have to go back and get any more. That's pretty good right there. So happy with that. Just gonna pull out here. You can see they've got a big lot out here where you can park, whatever. I'm just gonna pull out here and get my tarp rolled over. And then hit the road, heading back north. Start my weekend. Be sure to position myself here where I can get out. Okay, more later. All right, folks, let's get out of here. Got my tarp rolled up. Kind of did a general check of the truck. Made sure I got all my placards on. Tires are good. Fresh cup of coffee. Ready to roll. You know, the good thing about this load, well, maybe not a good thing, but let me explain this. You know, today's Friday, it's about 11 a.m. Picking up this load, gonna get back home. You know, I'll probably be home this afternoon around 2 p.m. I mean, at my house. And I'll probably leave out sometime Sunday and try to get a few hours down the road and then get this thing delivered, you know, by midday Monday. Because since I picked this load up on Friday, as long as I deliver it Monday and get my completed paperwork for the delivery submitted to Oakley by Monday at 5 p.m., it'll go on this week's check. So that's a good deal, because this is kind of a short week for me. You know, I didn't even start till Tuesday morning. I took Monday off. Although I've had some decent trips, you know, short week. So getting this trip on this week's paycheck is appreciated. You know, and when I deliver it in Hillsboro, Kansas, I would bet, you know, I go back to Hutchinson, Kansas, to the salt mine, get another load of salt. I don't know that. That just seems to be typical run. You know, when I was talking to Ed from over in Arizona the other day, you know, he's a few years younger than me, but we both were talking about, you know, how we like the low stress of this gig. You know, we work long weeks, long hours, away from home, you know, all that stuff that may not work for you. But, you know, if you have had jobs in the past, in your younger years, like I have, or Ed, lots of people, where you've had stressful jobs, you know, I enjoy that about this, that the stress is very low. I do. It's one of the prime things I like. So, something to think about. If you're wondering about getting into this, whether you'd like it or not, I don't know. Because it ain't for everybody. You know, living out on the road, being away from home, driving for long periods of time, it's different. Not for everybody. But definitely one of the benefits is low stress. And another thing, you know, I used to have to wear, I mean, I still have to wear readers if I'm looking at paperwork or like working on my computer or something. But I used to have to wear contacts at work, you know, because I used to work on a computer a lot, sitting at a desk, working on a computer. And I had to wear contacts to be able to see, or wear glasses all the time, which I didn't like doing. But you know, I don't wear contacts at all anymore. I just use readers the few times a day when I have to look at paperwork. Otherwise, you know, I don't have contacts, don't have prescription glasses. My eyes are much more relaxed. So that's another benefit for me. That may not apply to everybody for sure, but that's another benefit I like. So when I get back to the North Little Rock Oakley yard, I'll do a quick recap and we'll close this out. So see you there. Okay guys, hey, I've arrived back here to the North Little Rock Oakley yard. I want to do the normal weekly recap for you. Jotted down some notes. So these numbers are for last week, of course, where, let's see, where did I go? Oh yeah, picked up that load of brass in Lone Oak, Arkansas that went up to East Alton, Illinois. Then I went to Bettendorf, Iowa, and delivered in Chicago Heights, Illinois. Then went to Detroit, that delivered in Wabash, Indiana. Then to New Haven, Indiana, that delivered in Columbus, Mississippi. Then to Flowood, Mississippi, that delivered to Foreman, Arkansas. And then deadheaded home from there. So that gave me total miles for the week of 2,488. Good week. 747 empty miles, 1,741 loaded miles, for a total of 2,488. That gave me gross income of 6,195 and net income of $4,355 for that week. And you know, I get questions on that from time to time. What does the net mean? You know, well, when we get our weekly settlement from Oakley, it gives you those numbers right there, and then a lot of, you know, math that goes with it, deductions and whatnot. But basically everything is taken out of that. Your fuel purchases, your fees for licensing and all that, and oh, that's Randolph. And so basically everything's taken out of there except for what you pay for your truck payment. You know, if you have a truck loan, and your taxes, you got to pay your taxes. So, you know, you gotta save money from that for taxes, truck payment, and truck maintenance. You know, whatever you spend keeping the truck going. So that's kind of how that works. All right, so that's the numbers for the week. Let's hop out real fast before I shut things down and do a quick look around. You know, I got my truck washed yesterday morning. It's already kind of dirty, but that's how it goes. If I hadn't showed you already, these are my new half fenders. You know, it had a support arm here that had to be put on, and they had to put some spacers in here. And but that's it. That kind of keeps the mud though from getting all up here on the back of my truck and up in my fan and all that stuff. So I'm glad to finally get those on. There's a shop just a couple of miles from here called Wayne's World that put them on for me. And then I also got new mud flap hangers and mud flaps right here. All right, so that's what I got done Monday. So let's see if we can. This is probably piled up in the front so that I can't open the door, but let's see. Oh yeah, it's tight. I was gonna give you a peek of it. So there's my hazmat placard in the front. I have a couple of extras too, so I can replace these. This one's getting kind of rough. Let's check my tires, make sure they're good. Looking at the back. All right. Oh, here's a placard for the rear. A piece of metal that doesn't need to be there on the driveway. All right, let's see. Making sure my tires are all good. If I got a problem with a tire, I could get it fixed here at the shop instead of finding out about it later. There's the placard on this side. I did get the exterior of the trailer washed the other morning when I got the truck washed. It's primarily the tires that got super muddy. And here's the half fender. So okay, everything looks pretty good. I put some more coolant in there this morning, a little bit of coolant. There's the main office over there. There's the Arkansas River out there, and just a look of the parking lot. All right guys, I'm going home. See you back out here Sunday.